Hello everybody, my name is Squaggy and we are back with another legally distinct thread video. Today I want to talk about bad cards. Most of the time in Vanguard, you want to be playing good cards in your good deck. But sometimes you just have to believe in some terrible tech that you've hyped up in your head. So today I ask, what is the worst card that's ever found its way into your deck? And I got a lot of good answers on Twitter. Some of them overlap with the answers on YouTube. And also I didn't get a lot of answers on YouTube. So most of the answers are gonna be from here. Follow me on Twitter. I'm very different here. I'll begin with my answer, Exalted Dragon. I played this in Amorta before stuff like Draconis came out, before I think DZBT07 came out with that wave of Amorta support. And you just kind of made do with him. You know, sometimes you discard it for the grade 2 ride line, and then you got to call him back, and you got to keep up the aggression. You know, if you place a unit with Amorta's skill in the battle phase, he then gets the boost. It's good, I swear. But he was quite bad. He's not even that bad, I think. But for the most part, it's just a matter of how good he actually was versus how good he was in my head. That was so different, I just cringe thinking of it back in the day. So, let's see what else you got. Before the video continues, I just want to advertise, I do have a Ko-Fi. I'm not going to paywall any content. Obviously, I don't really have a lot to paywall. But if you'd like to support the channel and what I do, and you want to see me, maybe try to upload a bit more regularly, maybe improve this microphone of mine, then any help would be appreciated. You don't have to donate. Just want to put it out there in case you do want to support the channel and what I do. Okay, back to the video. Sheriff says, as much as I love her and insist she stays a one-off, more actual consistency cards would be nice. See, I think Orphist is plenty consistent as is right now. There are like 2 different cards when you discard them, find something in your deck. But I think something like Tambberino modernized for today would be cool. I think if you still play Tambberino though, I think you're insane. But it's like Harvest Elf, if you just draw into it, it's just like Harvest Elf. It's basically the same 1-to-1. There's no difference between this and Harvest Elf. And all the good decks are still playing Harvest Elf, right? But no, I know you like playing this because you like to imagine her and Lindalka from Darkseid's kissing. You can't fool me. April says, shout out to when we played one of the worst bricks of all time in Premium Granblue for a full year, because it auto-won 6 different matchups, VSR, Steve, Shiranui, Chaos, OTT, Castile. It was also the only way you don't fold during Ripple's format. When I got this answer, I just thought she was talking about Empics in general. I remember even in Standard, people were trying to play Empics in a bunch of things like Night Rose, and I think I played in Magnolia here and there. And I kind of got in my head that, oh, this card is really good. It's going to protect us from so many different things. I think around the time Artisaria was coming out. And the answer was that, no, it's not worth it. Like, Empics was a real piece of shit. Like, he did nothing in most decks. I still think some Standard Night Roses try to play him, and I just don't see why. You can just remove your board. So, our experiences with the card are different, and yet very similar. It's bad. Frost Lantern says, these 2 cards are good. They were not good in set 11 Nannaclir, when I was deluding myself into believing that a main phase Soul Blast to bring back Belnor and a 5k pump to it with Financier skill was worth more than the archetypal order. So if you don't know, Frost Lanterns is my partner Claude B, and it is very difficult to look your partner in the eye when she is going on about how this will fix Nannaclir. This is going to make Nannaclir just as good as everything else in set 11. And you just have to kind of sit there and nod your head and go, you got it, sweetheart. I love you. Because that's what a good boyfriend does. But it hurts so bad to watch someone that you love so dearly fall into this insane psychosis. We were just not running Camille Falche, we were just running this package. And I don't even think it's that bad. I just think Nannaclir was so unsalvageable at the time. It's just nothing you could really do about it. But this is the kind of psychosis you undergo when your deck is just so awful and you have to play something to make it work. This is all you really got. He was the GOAT. If you use Forbidal, you can call him and then Vortex Dragon and Kai Icon. Oh my god, that's so much power, so much value. But this card gets floated around here and there as like the only way to give your Vanguard crit. I think in Standard, this is like the only way you can do it for the most part. And he's not like awful, I think. It's just that giving your Vanguard crit is such a weird ability because it's like, weren't you gonna guard that one anyway for the most part? It's something that's really good when innate to your Vanguard or when you check it. But if you need a ton of setup, it tends not to be good enough. It is a really funny card though. The Penetrate Dragon? Oh god. This one was insane because I just have no idea what this one is for at all. What on hit was good enough to run Fruits Basket Elf? Unless you were a big fan of the anime, like why would you be doing this? You may be wondering, well, doesn't it combo with Zoa? That's not what Zoa says. For one, you have to deal damage, of which the card doesn't, and two, Zoa isn't a Neonectar. So I have literally no idea what this card is for. This person never elaborated. If you are this person, come clean. What's up? What do you have in your mind? You think I can only Elf Knights twice? Think again, buddy. I Vulcan Elf Knights another time. Oh, why hasn't this channel taken off? This card is terrible. But, I mean, you had 2 open slots. You may as well run something, right? This one's funny because it implies somebody really wants to play Virgilla. Because I'm pretty sure most people were like, oh, thank God, Virgilla's gone. I no longer have to play this boring-ass deck. And Akira's over here like, no, stay with me, please. You don't understand. If I have the perfect board set up and my opponent forgets to read my cards and lets me hit at the right time and I discard 3 cards, I can do 7 attacks in Chaos. This is an insane one. I think people even experimented and thought about this with Odium, just to get like 1 more attack pre-Animus. And you'll probably see this a lot, even if they're not answers in this video. But a lot of the janky ways that people are like, oh, we get to get 1 more attack if we play X card, tends to be pretty bad. Like if a card restands on its own, it's a good card. If you're playing a bunch of cards to enable an extra attack, though the outcome is the same, it tends to not be worth it. And in Chaos, was Chaos really in need of another attack? Chaos for a while was already one of the best turn 3 decks in the game, and you're like, no dude, I have to really take it over the edge. Because winning more means I'm winning more. That means to win more cards are good, right? Also, they were just printing anything back in early standard. Retire this unit, choose 1 grade 1, call it the rear guard. What does this have to do with Dark States? Because we use the Soul, incredibly funny card. Don't play this. For Alicia, every time a Lyrical boss discards in battle, I try to force this to work, and every time it's awful. See, that's what I mean, right? Any kind of jank you can run to make the 6 attack in your deck is bad. Don't play weird attack extenders. This one's insane too. 6,000 attack points. Attack points, what are we, Yu-Gi-Oh? 6,000 power. What could you possibly do with 6,000 power? On Persona, right, that's 16. Maybe you check Lyrical OT and this is 26. You know, if this was G era, that hits magic number, right? But what is 26 doing in standard? That's a 15th guard. I just cannot imagine that this is doing anything. I can't even imagine this is good in premium. Okay, you know what? I can't imagine that this is good in premium. Listen, I was desperate for attackers in Sacrifice Glass. That's the problem. You play Sacrifice Glass. Play another deck. Really. I have no agenda. Please, don't play Sacrifice Glass, please. Even then, this is so oddly specific. I don't think this works for many other decks in Standard except for Sacrifice Glass. Or at least if we're talking Dark States, it's not like we have a ton of restanders. So I mean, this is kind of up there for hardcore Sacrifice Glass support. It just doesn't say his name. I mean, this card's not awful. It's a 1500 attacker. There are worse cards to play. Gives the Grand Dogma 5000. That's also decent. I mean, there are worse things you can play, but yes, this one is quite bad. You gotta trust me. It can be tutored by Luard and can call your damage PGs and triggers. It's the ultimate tech. Prescription Angel is an insane one. This one is insane. First of all, I didn't know this one existed. Second of all, when I read this, I was kind of sold on the idea. If you play the JP format, you must know by now how good the 2 ladies who are best friends and roommates are. And they're really good because you get the kind of toolbox in your damage zone, which turns out is a really powerful skill alongside, you know, the EB3 skill. But I mean, this isn't so bad, right? Lord, you stuff the card that PG from board. This can't be bad, right? Once you get the Gabriel crest, this card will be crazy. Solved 2 of the biggest problems in Avant-Garde Masques and was also randomly a blue Death Star Battle Void, so it synergized with Macy Distance. The deck was still terrible though. Man, people were working overtime to make Avant-Garde Masques good. The problem here is that you were trying to solve problems in Avant-Garde Masques, and that deck has way more problems than is worth solving. I'm sorry. I just went to go read what some of the cards you could really add, and it's just Resistance and Dusting. You can't even get the grade 3 one that synergizes with Avant-Garde Masques. So I'm not sure what problem you are solving with this one. It just doesn't look like anything gets solved here. You're still playing Avant-Garde Masques. This is why pet daggers are impressive, you know, they just see things in a different light. A light that I hope I never encounter. I do love my boy Twin Marble. Is he any good? Probably not. Am I going to shove him into Estrella and Drajul as soon as I have 1 slot open? Yup. So back when I think Magnus was coming around, this was a card that people were like putting in their lists online during their playtesting, and I had never seen it because, you know, I kind of came back in during Divine Z, and I looked at it and thought, there's no way this is good. People are playing this like as a joke or something, and then I went to go try it in Drajul, and I think I was right. why were people playing this? I don't get why you play this now in the big 2.6 or the big 2.5 or the big 2.4. I could see why this card was good when it came out, but I just, in the modern age, just better things you can run, obviously. But you do get to scry 1. And how often do you get to scry in dark states? That's fun. Played Lottery Great Nature before becoming an actual gimmick of the clan. This one's pretty interesting, mostly because of the other card that is parallel to this in my mind, which is the turtle that Aquaforce has. And while this card may not have been very good, that card in Aquaforce, what a house and a half in ripples. Oh my god. But no, I mean, what were you really doing with this in Great Nature? Why were you playing Great Nature in BT09? Like, what could you possibly be doing then? Polaris? Garnavirina in Barbs boosting a double Yukma shot board genuinely sounded like it could help the deck's numbers quite a bit. Copium is still there though. I'm pretty sure this has tops in Bafsagra right now. I don't think this is that out there. Gives you something to do with the excess trick stars and stuff. I don't know, I think this is worth experimenting with. I don't think this is that bad. I was playing this goat at 4 until Philia was released. In theory, he could do anything. Be early game body that could actually attack if needed and be a decent booster, plus the 10k shield was always welcomed. I think a lot of the Divine Z standard 5+5s that they had in for the grade 1s. You know the kinds, right? All the really bad rares that just say if you have a X name Vanguard +5/+5. I thought those were all not too bad. I remember the Chris Rain one, I was like, oh, this is probably kind of playable like Cadenza, like you have a 10k shield. Sometimes a lot of the problem in that deck is that all your cards are fake, so they don't actually have a lot of shield. Mind Hacker, I remember specifically because the voice actor for Sewell always says it with such gusto. He's just like, Mind Hacker. And it's like, wow, this must be the best card ever. And then I went to read it and I was like, oh, this card is bad. See it here in the comments. Yeah, are you Yobitsuki Sewell? Like, this guy was running that with Grivaldi. That was a power column. Throwing this into any deck with a restander, most of the time, bad choice. Gazing Expectation Curzone. This is so strange. It has even open rearguard and everything. You'd have to bounce the other one in advance, knowing that this would hit at some point, hopefully. I don't even know what restanders you could possibly talk about. Sienna? But wait, if you combine this with Alicia's Great One, you can have another attack. Hold on. Maybe if you combine 2 bad cards, you can make 1 good play. Huh? This Goofy Goober got me top 16 with Fish. That's right. I'm not even using the Deep Lens Grade 1 ride line. This is weird to me because why are you not playing the Deep Lens Grade 1 ride line? It's like, it's good. This one's insane. It's not even that Rancor chain is particularly bad. It's just like, why are you doing this in Deep Lens? You didn't need to draw 2 that badly, did you? I was trying so hard to make Nannaclir work, man. This is also a card I tried to pitch to Cloud V, being like, come on, this one's probably good, right? 25k attacker, how can you say no? And this is a card I have very fond memories of as one of Levidras's best attackers in DZBTO4. Because that deck was made to have a wave in DZBTO5, so it was really bad back then, but this made it kind of playable. And I'm pretty sure we were still thinking about this in other decks, I think. And I think there is a recent Stoichia deck that we kind of tried to experiment with this. I don't remember what it was, but I swear there was one that wasn't Nannaclir. And hey, 2 Nannaclir answers in this thread. What does this mean about Nannaclir? I'll let you figure that one out. What do you mean I can use this card in an already kind of blast heavy deck to ensure my 3-kit Nebula Invoke doesn't get PG? That doesn't even ensure that. They could just put a card and a PG down. That's not real. Seriously funny card though. All these cards that worked when you P-rolled and then you boost your CB1 for an effect, these were all quite funny. The Dragon Empire one, I remember my friend tried to play this back with Bafsagra before she got the Axaya upgrade, and I remember thinking, holy shit, this has 2 crit too. Holy shit, this card is so bad. Really funny though. Me in 2017. No guys, you don't understand how fucking insane he is in Luard/Diablo. Can't you play like Night Sky Eagle? I guess that was GB1, right? Okay, you know what? I see the vision. This hits for 5 to guard. I get it. Also, BTO4, my god. It's not like Luard and Diablo were bad decks. This is not the... You don't need to bring back Gururu Bao for those decks to be good. Venetial players running that one fuck-ass copy of Varga in the main deck. Honestly, it's probably the other way around, right? My post is talking about playing bad cards in a good deck. This is playing a good card in a bad deck. There were circumstances. Yeah, and the circumstances was that you were playing Tachikaze and BTO3. You took anything you could get. I'm pretty sure without this guy, you wouldn't hit 50 cards. Also, you just don't see art like this anymore. The art design for Vanguard cards has changed over the years. Obviously, in any game it does. But come on, this is such a cool little art. Like, look at how like metallic and shiny it is. You don't really see things like this anymore. So it has to be an anime style, even if like robots nowadays, right? This is so unique. I really like this one. This is Mei Changu's fault. This entire ordeal started by Exalted Dragon. This is all this individual's fault, and I will find you one day. You must repent. He's my Chut-san, and I still think about him. Base Argo Siren made really nice use of him, and I think he is an option in Welsh Phantom if he's at least 10k on turn 3, with the opponent being 3k before you check any triggers. Him and Tightline Dragon are some of my faves. I don't really think these are necessarily bad cards. I think Tightline Dragon is fine, you know, you kind of take what you can get. I do think Bovine Blast is bad. Like, you just guard him anyways, he's not too bad to guard, and if he's already on board with its crit 2, your opponent is going to know, and it's a very telegraphed line of play, and they're gonna play around it, so it never really comes to fruition. But it is funny. I like that some people even experimented with him in Night Rose. I don't think they should have done that, but it was quirky. Vanguard should play a lot more with the original crit. They don't do it very often, but this is a cool design. It's a shame it's a bad one. The perennial extra attack code. Anytime a Keter deck calls in the battle phase, someone will try it. Currently being teched in Blank the Mire Phantom. I've never seen anyone actually use it, even when it's bound. It's more like a it's nice to have kind of thing. It's not like you're really hurting for space in Blank the Mire. Oh no, I can't play the 4th Zamoog. That doesn't change the math on that too much, right? But I mean, I get it. I think this card is also quite bad. I remember when people were trying this in Blank the Mire Phantom, I was like, there's no way this is good enough to run. And it turns out that this, you will see its use case 1 out of 10 games, and then it becomes the greatest card ever printed. And in those 9 out of 10s, it doesn't do anything, right? But just because decks like Blank the Mire Phantom can get access to him so easily, you know, he's basically a 5th attack exactly when you need it. So when you need it, he becomes really good. Then 10 out of 10 games you win. But I do think this card is quite mid. It's just that Blank the Mire Phantom, the stars kind of align for him. So, what have we learned from this? You guys play a lot, and I mean a lot, of real dog shit. But it's better to play bad cards than be a bad card fighter. Alright? That's it from me. Bye-bye. Thank you to my Ko-Fi supporters, Big Ben, Long Long, Milk, and Latson. Scraggy appreciates all your support. Come on, dog. Don't say that. Ellie is pretty good. Xiaomil's not bad. If you think about it, Orlin is like Gojo before Gojo, and Gojo's crazy, right?